Hi, I'm Zach Axman with Axman Angling, and today I'd like to talk about the simple slip bobber rig. What we normally use here on Devil's Lake, we like to use a high-vis line, which what I'm using here is the Blaze Orange by Berkley and a fire line in a 15-pound test. When we're in the trees, this helps us keep our rigs out of the trees and allows us to pull those fish away from the trees once we hook into them. Next on the line is just a simple slip bobber stop, followed by a bead. I prefer to use these plastic ones just because they go through the eyes of my rod a lot easier than the ones that are tied. Next is a simple float. There's many different floats. I prefer to use this style just because when we're out in Devil's Lake in the trees, you lose track of a lot of them, and we like to change our floats to match our line, such as I did with this one, orange to orange. The next part of the rig is something that we do a little bit different. We like to add another slip bobber stop below the bobber, and what that allows us to do is put a sliding sinker, and then we can pull it down tight to our swivel. What this allows it to do is it doesn't start wrapping around as if it was way up here. It can spin. When we get it tight down here, it keeps it tight to the bottom. It doesn't allow it to spin, so when you cast it out, it doesn't get all tangled up. Then next is just your simple jig, and by adding this weight, we can use the smallest jigs possible. We like to use the 16th ounce with a 10-pound fluorocarbon. I always like to leave my leaders lighter than my main line. That way if I get tied up in the trees, I can break my 50-cent jig off versus losing the whole setup and chasing the bobber down.